too. Oh, that's better. The old backside doesn't work as well as it used to. Well, anyways, first things first. Back to doing fishing reports because the fishing conditions are changing quite radically, very quickly. In fact, from this report and the past report, about 10 days, we've had some significant changes in the fishing. So I want to kind of get a report out and get everybody caught up to date on what's going on with that. So before I get on with reports, a quick announcement. I have some dates available for out here in the western New York tribs, like the Oak Orchard area, for the next couple of weeks. I got some open slots, so if you want to make a last minute trip, take advantage of the fishing out here. I got some time, get a hold of me. We still have a few dates open, some time open in mid-April into early May on the Salmon River. I have some May dates available still, and some of my other guys have got some April dates still available. So there's still some time in the calendars if you want to get in for some spring steelhead fishing. With the announcements out of the way, let me get going on with the fishing. I'm going to start out with the Salmon River. As of right now, for this report today, the Salmon River is running 2,850. Yeah, 2,800 plus in CFS coming through the Pineville gauge. The runoff has happened. Last time I checked, it's a 2,200 release at the dam with all that extra water being runoff. It has been coming down. Earlier in the week it was over 3,000, so there's been a lot of runoff coming through. This week is going to be a cooler week in temperatures. Right now, today it barely got above freezing. I think tomorrow's supposed to have a little bit of rain, be a little bit warm, but the rest of the week is supposed to be cold nights, below freezing, warmer days. So it's going to slow everything down. Last week things were moving very fast. Things were thawing out, the water temperatures were warming up quick, things were progressing very quickly. This is going to get us back on schedule, to a normal schedule. So that's going on the Salmon River. It's just big water coming through. If you're going to go up there and fish, it's going to just be, like I said, very high water. It's all liquid ice. That water temperature is like 31, 32. On a warm sunny day down at the bottom of like to the DSR, you might get like 34 degrees. Quick note about the DSR, I think if the water release is over 2,000, they are closed. My suggestion is you don't want to fish down there where the water flows, even with runoff, is much more than 2,000. It's just hard to get a fly to where the fish are, and it doesn't allow you a lot of fishable water. I prefer it down there well under 2,000. That just means there's more water that I can effectively fish on the DSR. And the other thing to keep in mind too is if you're looking for warm water temperature, the bottom end, the DSR, is definitely the place to go. So if those water temperatures drop, we get some sunny weather, the bottom end, the DSR, might be a place to be able to swing up a fresh steelhead. So, but they're going to be scattered. It's a coverage game. As a result, I don't have a lot of information on how the fishing is, other than it's very terrible, it's awful. You're definitely you got the front row seat on the struggle bus on the Salmon River. That is reality. I know some people tell some great stories, but the truth is you're going to struggle. That will change as we go through the spring. It's just runoff time. It's the way it is. Now, so that's what's going on the Salmon River. We just need to have the water temperatures come down in this ice water. We can access those fish, and the water temperature's got to warm up, and then the whole dynamic of the river will change. For the people that are curious, the hatchery has been collecting eggs. That is normal. They do it this time of year because they can schedule it. They can warm the water up in the holding tanks. They can play a bunch of games with the fish, and they can get that job done. It's not because the fish are ready to spawn. They can make them ready to spawn. It's just, think about the hatchery folks. They got to process a bunch of fish, spawn a bunch of fish. They got to get those things taken care of. Then they got to start stocking. So that means it's a very busy time in the hatchery, and to get that one job done early is why it happens in March. It's just scheduling. Biologically speaking, that river spawn's not going to happen until the water temperatures warm up. Anyways, I progress. Moving along to the western end where I'm fishing. Here again, it's a completely different story. The snow is gone. The runoff is over. The ice is off the reservoirs. Ice is out of the fields. Our smaller creeks, we've had 50-degree water. A lot of the places where we'd be fishing in last minute brown trout, when it gets that warm, those fish bug. They're getting out. So there's still some brown trout left in our brown trout creeks, but not as many. They're leaving pretty quick, and it's pulling in steelhead. So we're having a mix of steelhead and browns intermixing in there. It's a coverage game. We got to cover a lot of water because the steelhead will smoke through these creeks and get spread out really far and wide, because there's a lot of great water and those fish really do spread fast, and the brown trout are dropping. So it is a coverage game. Cover a lot of water. Great time to swing streamers. You can drift egg flies. I'm using, depending on the watercolors, yellow and white zonkers. I'm following through with like carpet flies, small egg flies, following up through, and it's still a lot of pocket and pool fishing in the creeks. And some of the other bigger rivers, kind of like the Oak, it's there again. I'm swinging flies. Water temperatures are lagging behind. They're in the 40s. Things are happening. So out here in the western end, things are happening. I mean, all across, like in Sodas, Maxwell Creek, and all those surrounding creeks around Maxwell, it's happening there. So this end is basically, we don't have the high runoff problems. We got good water temperature. I suspect this week we're going to see those temperatures creep down a little bit with those really cold nights, and maybe getting into the 40s during the day. But it's going to just put things more on time. Instead of having our spawn cycle really compressed, it's going to really spread it out this year. So you're not going to see real intense spawning, very hot fishing. It's going to be more of get out there, work on the water, grind it out, fish smart, cover some water, and you're going to have a pretty decent day. So, but we probably got another easily 2 weeks of this out here, probably 3 weeks before that collapses and it becomes a sucker fest. You know, and the bigger water, yeah, I'm swinging flies. I'm breaking out all the cool stuff like little rainbow streamers, big egg sucking leeches, my little mini intruders, some of my little skirt flies that I like to tie. All that stuff is happening out here. So that's kind of what's been kind of going on with that. So we're basically, it's a classic example of the west end really starting to peak, while the east end, Salmon River, the Sandy Creeks up north, are all in full runoff mode. North on the Sandies, the last time I looked, they're around 500 to 600 CFS, so they're really starting to come into fishing. They might fish this week, come to think of it. Like North, Little Sandy, Big Sandy, North Sandy, north of Pulaski, the Sandy up at Adams, they could be coming into their own here probably this week if the water levels continue to drop. So that's a good news for the east end of the lake right there. As I think off the top of my head, those flows that last time I look like they're starting to smarten up pretty good. And there again, get on there, and it'll probably be a pocket fishing, drifting game with egg patterns and really large nymphs. But anyways, that's what's going on. We're not really tearing the world up on the Salmon River. Things are happening here out west. So, yeah, folks, once again, I'm going to be working on some fishing videos here pretty quick. If I get some time behind the vise, I'll try to get another fly tying video up, but we'll be having some fishing videos coming. We're in the process of working on them. So hit that little subscribe and like button. And yeah, see you in the water, folks. It's spring and it's steelhead time, and we're fishing. See ya. This is Jay at JPEG Guides and Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish the Lake Ontario tributaries, and then during the spring and the summer we also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. During the heat of the summer we will do the warm water fishing for bass and pike. If you're interested in any of our outings or have any questions, please feel free to email us at fish@lostriversfishing.com. Hope to hear from you, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.